Hi guys, Truckaround here, welcome back to production line. Now as you can see, we don't actually have a production line. Due to an error I had with my hard drive, we have lost the save. Not a problem though, we're only 2 episodes in, can be fixed very quickly. So what I'm going to do is, this episode I'm going to bring us back to where we were, maybe a little bit further than we were, and also edit one small part of our line. Which I didn't do on my own save game when I got all my achievements, but someone did mention this might be a better way to do it. I don't know, we'll give it a go, we'll see what happens. So, to bring us back to where we were, we need to get all of our production back in, our research offices. Yep, that's fine. And that was because I tried to place the office outside of the green catchment area. Right, so there's our research. Now we need to pick our research, which, as you remember before, we went into processes, we scrolled all the way down, and we went for power production, and we went for even more robots. We'll add that to the queue, so we have both our more robots and even more robots ready. Now while we wait for the power, we're going to start off with our first line exactly as we were before. We're going to have our importer. We're going to have our resource conveyor right up the side, and we're going to get our chassis assembly in, and our fit body, and we're going to get these conveyed up, get our resources in for our chassis assemble. Right, now we'll start producing the chassis pretty much as soon as all of the parts are in. That should get our parts here quicker, shouldn't it? Yeah, let's get that connected. Right. Yep, so we've got these parts coming in, we've got our first chassis being made, we have our body ready. So while that's happening, we're going to get our paint and our engine bays ready. Get the conveyors connected up for these. Right, so as I said, not 100% sure what happened with our save game. Doesn't matter, we're back on track. We're starting to build our save back up again. We're rolling our first car off the line. While that happens, I'm going to get our electronics and our accessories, our quality check and our export fitted exactly where they were before. So we had our quality check was about here, I believe. So we can connect these two up. Now, accessories and electronics. Now this is the only change I'm going to make from our other save, and this was told to me by one of our viewers. I'm going to move our electronics and our accessories up so that we can actually bring all of our production lines into one run for the electronics and the accessories. I'll explain why in a few moments. So there's our electronics and here's our accessories. We're going to bring our conveyor up, across and through, and we're going to get our stop bars connected. Okay, so as our cars start to come through, now what this is going to do, these first 3 areas are where our time is spent building. These 2 areas, our accessories and our electronics, aren't very time consuming. So what we're going to do, rather than have 2 sets of these, we're going to have our second line here, which will also run into the exact same accessories and electronics, saving us money having 2 of these, 2 sets of employees, 2 sets of power, saving us money in the long run. Now we do need to get this backlog cleared quickly, so I am going to get first loan as we did before, hopefully a decent size one, this will do, and we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to have a second run, spaced 2 apart. That's our body, our paint and our engine. Convey this way, convey up, and this is the change. Last time, like I said, we had a second run, so we're going to bring it all into the one. Now we need to get our resources into this also quite quickly, so we're going to run it up here, straight across. Right, now this is very fast, so if anyone's a bit like, whoa, slow down a bit, if you go back and watch episode 1, you'll see a bit of a slower setup for a beginning production line, but this is us trying to catch back up to where we were and get our production back up, start making us money again. So, our power, we can speed the time up now. We've got our 2 lines running. Our cars are coming through. We haven't got a backlog. We've got 1 or 2 cars sitting here, yes. But now with this new system, we're saving a bit of money here. 2 lines will get the cars through faster, and hopefully we'll get our profit up a lot quicker too. Right, now there was an update out today, and while this runs through, I'm going to actually have a look at the update. So positech today did another blog post, and they've brought us yet again more fixes, more game updates, including one which was really frustrating me, the cars sideways, which shouldn't happen anymore. And it was basically the cars, instead of facing the way of the track across and up, some cars were coming sideways up here. So I'm glad they fixed that. And we now have our power, so we can get our power back to where it was as well. Brilliant. So we've got new facilities, which is our power, and we had 6 across, and then we had 2 on the top, so that brings us to 4, 5. Now we had 2 here. So what I'm going to do is eventually make a block out of these. So that should bring us 14,000 power. Yep, 14,000 power. We should use somewhere with the run we've got between 10 and 11,000. But cars are coming through, and we are getting our upgrades as quickly as they're coming through, thank goodness. So we'll buy all of these, and we'll upgrade all our slots to 4 robots per part. Now what I would like to do this time is, as soon as we are profitable, I'm going to add in a 3rd line, and exactly the same, it's going to run straight into this accessories and electronics bay. So hopefully now we are very, very quickly catching up to where we were. The only thing we're lacking is our research. Research isn't a problem, research can be gained over time. But we are basically where we were at in episode 2, before something malfunctioned on my side or on the update side, not sure. So let's have a look at where we are within our sales and income. Okay, so brilliant, we have sold 4 of our Mark 1. I do need to change the name back to Mark 1. In 24 hours we're selling 3, so we're doing quite well. I'm quite happy. We're going to increase this to our 30% that we had before. I'm going to change the name back to Mark 1, so that as we research the new parts, windows, interior parts, body parts, whichever, we can increase our price and have a Mark 2 with a slightly increased price to make us some more money. Brilliant. We are actually researching a lot faster than I thought we were going to go. So we're going to upgrade these. Buy all. Upgrade all. Okay, so we've got 6 robots per slot now. We are going to have to take out another loan shortly, because this is not going to get us through another day, I don't believe. So let's look at our research. Last time we'd started looking at some of the priorities, the drying times. This will speed up our production. Then we can look at things like specialisation and other areas. So we're going to research this, and we're going to get all of these added to our queue to speed up production. Oh, not this one. So we conveyors, overhead conveyors, predictive stock, power plant efficiency. So all of these will speed up production. They'll get cars off the line faster, which is going to help us in the long run. So at some point we are going to look at the specialisation as before, but I think I want to speed up our line as fast as possible, so we're pushing cars through and gaining profit. And I'm going to add robots galore onto the end of this. Right, so that's put us roughly at where we were. And this is something I want to wipe out with the research, is insufficient resources. As you saw, one of the things I'd put on was priority, so it will actually look at, right, this is pushing parts through quicker, let's get this one loaded first, then this and this and this, until eventually we shouldn't see insufficient resources popping up all the time. Right, we have no backlog up here, which is exactly what I want. We have our usual log of after the chassis. The chassis always seems to produce a lot quicker than everything else. We're at 64,000. So how are we looking on profit? We're actually on an hourly profit at the moment. We're actually up. 24 hours we're 167,000 and 194,000 all time. Now looking at numbers, we are looking pretty much where we were last time at this time. I'd like to see this increase over the next 24 hours without us spending any money. I want to see our cars going off the production line. We've just got another one at the end there. That is now gone. And hopefully we're going to keep our market share. See, we're getting 15 customers per hour. And that's sort of producing 0 per hour. Okay, so we need to produce more cars per hour to reach this market, and we're getting 1 sale per hour. Our price is right. Yep. So basically what I think we need to do is, as soon as we can afford it, we need this second line, so we are getting more cars out per hour. Our expenses, we shouldn't have any power expenses from now. 20,727. That shouldn't change. Now we should have a pretty solid power production from ourselves. Now I'm going to try not to take on any more debt. We could take out a second loan. It's 450k, but that's high interest. That's very high. If you look at what we took out here, well, it's basically 600,000 for 7%. And that is very high interest. So I want to try and avoid this unless absolutely necessary. We're failing. We need to really get us more cars. We are getting cars out. We have 1 in stock, which should get us out shortly. But we really need to get this number up, produced per hour, to meet the customer base. Alright, I'm happy, guys. We've caught up. We have our production line back in. We have an actually more efficient one by saving money with only having one of these. As you can see, we haven't had 2 cars reach this point at the same time yet. Brilliant. We are getting them out quickly, and even if we do get one here, their timers are 2 minutes and 38 and 1 minute 42, which is very quick compared to some of the earlier stuff. A lot of time is spent here on these 3. Hence the backlog. Now, as soon as we've got some money, I'm going to add this 3rd line in. We're going to need some more power, so we're not costing ourselves out in power. Import priorities, brilliant. Right, that is the one I'm waiting for. Slowly now we will see these insufficient resources die down, and hopefully not happen as much, as long as this is planned out correctly. And I'm going to do what we did last time. I just had a thought. We brought our resources in from this side as well, didn't we? As soon as we've got the money, I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring our resources in here. Our research coming on nicely now. As for our objectives, we are looking at selling 3,000 cars, 250 expensive and 750 mid-range. Now, like I said last time, until you reach around 1,000 cars, I don't really mess around too much with going for expensive and mid-range. I do that sort of within the last 2,000 to 3,000 on this objective, just because this first 1,000 cars is where we find out whether we can afford to actually even stay as a business. We need to be profitable by the time we get to 1,000 cars. Now, as you can see, our money is dropping very fast. We do need this 3rd line. Whether we take on both the loans or only one of them to get us going is to be decided. But I think we are actually going to get one of them now. How are we looking for the day? Yeah, right. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take out this 2nd loan. Oh, the prices have dropped. Okay, we're going to wait 24 hours and see what other loans we get offered, because that is not going to get us anywhere. And those interest rates are ridiculous. So we're going to wait, see what the next loan we get offered is, and hopefully by this time it'll be more sufficient anyway. We really need to start producing our own goods. The problem is when you're in the later game and you've got your own manufacturing facility, and you're not buying in parts, you can pretty much eliminate all resource problems and costs. Cut down. See, we are going to need a loan very, very quickly. What have we got on the table? See, these 100,000 loans aren't going to cut it, but we're going to end up with one, because in the next few minutes we are going to drop below 0, and we're going to need... Here we go. There you go. Oh, hopefully we can get a car out before we're forced to take on a loan that we don't want. We're just about staying above water at the moment. If this car gets out, I do want to take on another loan, but I don't want to take on one that's going to be more interest than it needs to be, and not enough for us to build what we need to build. I am happy. To be honest, to get to where we were in the last episode so quickly is brilliant. It's just now about getting this third run in and getting our research. So we've still got some things stocked up. This isn't a problem. I really ain't worried about any more power. I'm not worried about marketing. We could do with our faster drawing being done soon. Okay, that's the next in the queue. And then we'll look at our specialisations afterwards. And once we've got all of our specialisations, then we can look at technologies. And there are a lot of technologies. As you know, anyone who's bought a car recently, that everything is just insane added extras. But normally I do start looking at more things like anti-lock brakes, driver's airbags, cruise control. Things like that is the first things I look at when we come over to this side. Let's check out money. We seem to be staying around the 30,000 mark. Have we got another loan offer yet? Still too low. Yes, guys, thanks for all the likes and subscribes over the last couple of weeks. As the channel's growing, all of your feedback is absolutely paramount to the channel working and growing. We are going to be forced into this new loan, but for anyone who hasn't, please follow me on Twitter. I do update every single day on Twitter. I try to talk as much about the YouTube channel as I can, but you'll also see things from my business, from what I do for a job, and a lot of truck photos. Okay, so we are doing quite well. I don't think... Oh. See, they've gone up, but not what I need. We need about 300 to 400,000 alone to get a second line in. Let's just do a quick calculation. So to add in another body is 174,000, 50,000, 109. That brings us to 329,000 is what we need to actually put in a third line, plus conveyor cost of 1,000 per square and 1,800 per square on the conveyors. So we could look at probably around 400,000 would give us enough to put in a third line. We need to look at where our expenses are. Again on this purchase. As soon as we can manufacture some of our own parts, we really need to look at our prices. What is costing us the most? We're not buying it. Right, okay, so... Let's have a look at imports. Okay, so here we go. I told you we have now been forced into our second loan, like on our second save, first save, but nowhere near what I would have liked to have got. We're going to accept this to get us back on track. This should give us enough money to slowly bankroll what we're making while we look at costs. So, like I was saying, imports. We are importing $6,000 in door panels per hour. Is that our highest? 2,000 in power trains. Right, so our door panels, we really need to be producing our own door panels. That is a high expense. We really need to cut that number down. So, yeah, I think what we're going to do is, as soon as this research is done, we're going to look into body frame specialization. door specialisation and door manufacture, because that is where we spend a lot of money. 6,000 is a hell of a lot. But what I'm going to do, while we're still selling cars quite quickly, I'm going to increase our price quite highly. We're going to get 40%. We should still see the cars going out the door as quick, but we really need this 300,000 to build a third run. This backlog is killing me watching this sit here. Alright guys, what I'm going to do then, I'm going to end the episode here, and in the next episode hopefully we'll have that 300,000 we need to build our third line and then become a profitable ongoing concern without any hassle. Once this is done, like I said, we'll get our research done, we'll catch up back to where we were, and then in episode 4, that is where we'll start looking at, okay, are we close to 1,000 cars yet? Maybe. If so, we need to cut the line out completely and rebuild into a singular section line. So, thank you for watching guys. I really appreciate everyone who likes and subscribes to the videos to the channel, and is helping me grow the channel in this early stage. I know it's going to take me a long time to get to where I want to go, but I'm willing to put in the effort, and I really appreciate all the input I get. So please continue to give me the input. I really appreciate it. Have a nice day guys. I'm Trucker Andy, and I'll catch you later.